Hello Aries, this is Victoria from Mindful Bamboo and I'm here with your April Tarot forecast. As always, we'll be looking at your love life, your career space, and we'll get you guidance from the universe on how to best navigate the energies of the month of April. At the end, I will also pull some cards from your person of interest to yourself. So let's get started right away. We always start with a little oracle message to see what the theme is for this upcoming month. It's your season, Aries, so happy birthday. And you're already starting with a bang, with the solar eclipse in Aries that we just had, new moon in Aries, a Neptune move to Aries, we have Virgo retrograde in Aries. So it's like there's a lot going on right now, but it also means like when you have so much of that energy kind of projected at you from all these different transits that we're experiencing, it almost like reaffirms and reconfirms to you what that Aries passion, what that kind of energy is all about. The determination, the ambition, and that fire that just keeps you going and taking steps forward. Even if you see obstacles, even if somebody's talking you out of it, you'll be like, I'm going for it. And that's the kind of energy that we as a global collective is now experiencing, right? This is what we are asked to embrace. But for you, it comes more naturally. Or if you've been in more of a disintegrated version of Aries for one or another reason, that this is your chance now to kind of switch gears and see what you can do with that energy, in a positive light, in the light of creation, rather than the light of ego and maybe stubbornness and kind of like saying my way or the highway, right? Because remember that every sign's energy can go either way. Okay, with all that said, let's see. For those who are new, welcome, by the way. There's a bunch of info in the description box on who I am and how you can collaborate with me. Also, there's my podcast, Mindfully Awake. I usually post links on this channel, so subscribe to know when the new one is coming out. They happen every Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's also a playlist on this channel that's specifically called Mindfully Awake that you can go to and check out the episodes that have aired so far. It is about mindfulness and wellness. Yes, you got it. Oof. Your card is the Mountain. I love it. I feel like it was like the preface that I just made, about the whole thing with Aries energy and how you just charge on and you move forward. I feel like this is a confirmation of what I was just talking about. You have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an unsurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. Yeah, and that's that balance between the light and shadow. Aries in the shadow mode may want to just like go straight through and just burn through the obstacle, right? Like, I don't really care, right? But Aries in the light, in the integrated space, would be like, okay, but I'm still kind of mindful and still considerable of other people around me or the divine timing or whatever it is. I'm still assertive about my goal, but I'm gonna assess the situation and take the next step as I see fit based on where I am in that moment. Okay, let's go with tarot. What does Aries need to know? These readings are for Sun, Moon, and Rising Aries. So if you're checking for a Sun sign, please make sure to check out readings for other placements as well. My favorite one, if I only have time for one, is Rising sign or Ascendant. So not many people know about it well enough, but I mean, I've been studying astrology and I've been following readers who are into astrology for a while now. And yes, rising sign is a big deal. And it resonates for me oftentimes a lot more than the reading for the sun sign. And look at that, you've got the Lover's card to begin with. Beautiful, I love it already. Strengths, wow. So this is Gemini and Leo energy, and you also have Knight of Coins. That's that energy of taking things slowly but surely, you know. Workspace, Queen of Swords. I'll talk about all of this more once I lay out the cards. 3 of Wands and 3 of Coins, the threes, okay. And then the advice, 8 of Cups, Page of Cups, and the Fool. That's Aquarius energy. There's gonna be a lot about letting go of all constraints and fears, you know, especially when it comes to your feelings and emotions, right? So you may not even confess to that out loud, you know, when you're with other people, but deep down, you know, right? And it's about facing those uncomfortable emotions and being very, very honest with yourself more than anything else. That's what I can say. And then you see Temperance, and then you'll be able to really alchemize your gifts and skills, really access them on a different level. That's one of the main benefits and rewards of doing inner work, of working through your blocks. Then you enable the natural flow of things, and also you are then connected to the divine power, right? You become one, or universe, whatever that higher power is for you. And then you can become unstoppable, you know, sky's the limit. Anyways, back to personal space and love situation. So definitely potential for a really powerful connection here. But why am I saying potential? This is what the divine is giving you, the universe is giving you, that potential, right? So it could be a specific person, or at least you are moving through certain healing that will help you show up in that courageous, powerful, passionate way. And that will naturally attract someone. But remember that as people, we have free will. So even if that person is like staring you in the eye, it's still your choice to say yes or no, to be open to that opportunity or not, and even energetically to open up to that or close off. So the choice is yours, but the opportunity is here. Just take things slowly. And remember, we still have like a week or so left of Mercury retrograde, by the way. And after that, technically, we still have a shadow period for another couple of weeks. So April is still kind of like we're getting out of the tough mode when things just weren't working out, when you're trying to have that difficult conversation. But, so it's gonna be better, but still not optimal. Plus, like there's a lot more going on right now. So just take things slowly, right? Slowly but surely. So show up for that person and make sure that they do the same, that there is that reciprocity, that both of you are invested, right? One thing that I wanted to say is if you're already in a relationship and you're thinking, but I already got a partner, you may be surprised if somebody else, you know, is in the picture now. You'll be like, whoa, all along I thought I was happy where I was, and now this big thing is coming around. That could be the thing. Or at the very least, you are seeing a lot more potential with your partner. But it will require courage. Maybe, you know, this new level of or phase of your relationship will require you to move to a different country. Maybe this will mean that you have to quit your job and you may never find another one in this field again, right? Like there are all sorts of situations here where your courage and commitment will be tested. But know that it's almost like that squeeze of a diamond where this is where the magic happens. So, you know, observe it, see what you can do and how you can flow rather than try to fight through it. For your workspace, you have Queen of Swords, 3 of Wands, 3 of Coins. I like the threes. The threes are about laying out a blueprint. It could be project planning. It could be business plan, you know, where in order to find the investor, you need to like do their homework and think things through, like with details, you know. And once you've created it, once you have the vision, know that other things will come along. The Queen of Swords is a pretty kind of tough person energy. This could be a boss, a colleague, or maybe it's you showing up in this energy of like, you know what, you better be doing a good job, you know, towards your colleagues, whatever, people around you. Or if it's you towards the clients, it even may be like, you better follow the rules, or I'm gonna say goodbye and not even give you a refund. You know, like you need to, there are the rules of the game. There are some ground rules for us to collaborate. And if you break them, bad luck for you. Right? What it helps with is building boundaries, this kind of idea. And even if it's not you, it's somebody else showing up in this energy towards you, see how you can learn from that. How this person is actually protecting their space, or, you know, setting some expectations so that there is no disappointment in the future. Right? What can you pick up for yourself? And you don't have to go all the way to the extent that they do, but there's definitely something there for you to learn and what could help you succeed more, you know. So it's not meant to trigger you, although it might as a side effect, but more to show you something. Last but not least, we have the advice. Lots of cups here, and I already mentioned a little bit about dealing with your fear and, so to speak, impermissible emotions. Guilt and shame, big time. Wanting to throw a tantrum, just to scream, just to slam the door, you know, this is a collective reading, so for each of you it will look different. But this is a time not to shove it under the rug, but to actually look it in the eye and see where it's coming from. And there's a good chance that, especially if that behavior looks childish from the distance, even for you, that it started in the childhood. There is a theory that, at least in one areas of psychology, that, you know, when something traumatic happens to us as children, a lot of times we freeze at that level of emotional maturity, at least when it comes to that specific area. Right? And we continue reacting the similar way because it's not really completed, you know, we didn't have closure there. Something was misunderstood, or it was too painful, or whatever it was. And then we keep reacting in the same way. We become reactive, and we keep reacting the same way, even as adults, because that situation was never resolved. So this is an opportunity for you to go there and see why this triggers you so much, why it causes so much emotion. And yeah, just be open to that. And it's not to stay there too long, but this is to get to know this fear so you can befriend it, and you can heal, and you can find closure, and you can leave this burden behind so you can travel lightly, you know. Or like in the classic deck, the Fool is portrayed with that little sack, maybe a dog, and that's it. They don't have much. They're traveling pretty much with nothing. You know, and they don't really need it, right? But the road becomes a lot easier that way, right? Because you don't have to carry on. You don't have to carry all that stuff with you. There's a big metaphorical meaning to that. Okay, let's get some messages for Aries from their person of interest. Aw, Empress, Ace of Cups, I love it so much. Wow. So much love here. Your person sees you as somebody very, very powerful, very nurturing, very creative, and doesn't have to be feminine, by the way. If you are masculine, then, you know, take it how it resonates. Masculine can also embrace the Empress energy and can be that potent person who just like is a, you know, machine that generates awesome ideas, or somebody who takes care of others, no matter what, you know, what day it is, what mood they're in, whatever happens, and they just like, that's the instinct. And this person has a lot of love for you, and the way that they see you, it kind of like gets better with every day. It gets stronger. The admiration, the respect, and the love, that's what I'm getting here. And they almost feel like they don't really match up with you, like they're not sure how to get on that level, you know, or if they'll be able to handle somebody as powerful in their life, or as exciting, or as beautiful. It's also about beauty. whatever your situation may be. Maybe you already know that your person feels inferior in some kind of way, right? Or even you realize subjectively that you were, I don't know, smarter, more beautiful, more successful in life, whatever, right? Use this opportunity. That's what I'm getting for you guys. Use this opportunity to help them out and lift them up. At least it doesn't mean that you'll always have to be doing this, but at least give them some other perspective on this. You know, how you see beauty in them, or how much you've actually learned. Like, it's not that you were born with all the gifts and you just took it for granted, right? They say that success is only 1% talent and 99% hard work, right? So you can tell them more about your story, or like encourage them to dig out their gifts and skills, right? And do something with that and help them out, get on that creative path so they can see how they can be the great in their own right. Okay, with all that said, I'm gonna leave it here. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy what I'm doing, please. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel, and until next time,